Hi, I'm back. I know a lot of you are puzzled and confused and astonished at the video that I posted, or the two videos that I posted last week or over the weekend. And I wanted you to be that way. That was my purpose. Because a lot of people don't know or don't understand the rituals and the priesthood of certain secret societies. So I'm here to give you some insight on that. A lot of these members of the secret society that are in Hollywood and politics, blah, 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 part of their priesthood and initiation and, hierarchy depends on shapeshifting and morphing within plain sight. Okay. It is something that they have to do. This is part of what they do. It's in several books. And I don't mean literally, I mean with prosthetics, with trickery and lies and makeup and such. Okay. So this is part of what they do. This is how they get to the higher hierarchy of their secret society. They have to pull off certain feats in front of the public eye and fool the masses to such a degree that they are deemed as able to control the masses under false information. So when you can do that, you become like a god or a demigod, okay, to a degree in the priesthood. And you get special privileges and da 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 da. So the reason why I posted that is because a lot of the higher ups have been doing this for so long and most people don't even realize it. Yes. So for example, a lot of people don't realize because they don't look close enough. Yeah, faking a lot of things. If you can get the masses to believe whatever you construct, you go one level, you go a level up. You know what I'm saying? So they've been doing this for a long time. This is not the first time. A lot of technology has improved, prosthetics have improved, technology has improved, so it's very easy to do now. And a lot of times when people say, oh, I swear I saw his reptile eye, do that. A lot of times they use tricks with the camera or with special effects to do that, to make you think you're seeing a reptile eye, because their whole order is surrounding a serpent or the serpent. Okay. So I don't know if y'all can see me. Can y'all still see me, or are y'all commenting? Can y'all say hi? So I know that it's live. So thank you. Their whole thing revolves around a serpent. That is their or dragon or angel, because they all kind of mean the same thing. They all have words that link jinn, angels, and serpents and dragons together. So a lot of the words that they use, a lot of the code words that they use, they have a whole language, but it's still English, but certain words mean certain things. So that's why when I say decode, some of it's beyond your own decoding unless you have the knowledge of what they call the serpent. So, right. So a lot of this is decoding, but decoding on a etymology level. So this is the book that I'm going to be referring to, The Murder of Reality, and I did link it below if you were interested in it. So it tells you about all the morphing, and they put a lot of things in quotes because they don't tell you what it means, but I know what it means. A lot of stuff that they put in quotes. A lot of it is sexual. A lot of it is physical, material. You have to do it materially, spiritually, and also mentally. So a lot of the things that you guys see is fake. Most of the things that you see is fake. If y'all get this book, y'all understand. Most of the stuff that you see on TV is fake, even the news. They use the fake stuff to cover up what they're really doing. Like, a lot of people have figured out that they use like COVID to cover up 5G or increasing the radiation. A lot of people have figured that out. There's no coincidence that the COVID cases go up as soon as 5G starts coming out with new and higher technology. So it is what it is, but those who know, those who don't, they don't know. And the point about the mask on is to involve everyone in the who's able to view, to also correspond and buy into the reality that they're creating. So when you do wear a mask, you're also morphing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you put on your mask and you're not breathing, basically, that's also code for energies that are in disguise as something else. You know, that it goes very deep into the Hollywood and entertainment industry, where they all have to do certain sexual rituals, and I don't even want to get into it because it's a whole mess and hard to explain, but that's their I don't even want to call it a religion, because religion even refers to serpent in a way. So anything that's you would claim religious is all linked to the whole thing. So it doesn't even matter. Everything is linked to it. Like Morpheus said in The Matrix, everything you touch and breathe and talk, every language, it's been woven into. So it's funny because a lot of stuff that we see is all fake and orchestrated. And it's been pulled off so much. It's so easy to do now. And it's so easy to make people do what you want them to do now. So that's their game, to see how they can control. And there's like a quote. Let me see if I can find it. And it's okay for them to lie. Like, I was reading some of their stuff that says it's okay to lie if it's to do A, B, C, and D. You know, they have their own way of thinking, but it's let me see. Goes into the archon and the archangel. It all represents everything. Like, you think the angel is the opposite of a demon or a serpent, but it's not. It's just a different level. So it's a different level. Like the devil, angel, Christ, it's all just a different level of the secret society and a different role that you would play. So basically, whatever you worship, it's the same thing. If you have a religion, you're still worshiping the same exact thing. So there's nothing good or bad that you're worshiping. You're just worshiping a level of this priesthood, period. Most people don't realize this, and that's why they're easily fooled and they don't see certain things. But if you look deeper and you question things, you will see deeper. And then it'll lead you to certain knowledge, which then will allow you to, what they call, speak the serpent's language, or in Harry Potter, they called it parcel tongue. Like I said, so you'll be able to decode on a higher level. And yeah, so a lot of what you see, a lot of people will say, oh, this person's a man. Well, at one point, they probably were a man, like not literally, but someone probably dressed up as one of these ladies as a man to fulfill one of their initiations, you know, that they had to move up into the hierarchy. So when you say, oh, this woman's really a man, a man could have been dressed up like her, trying to fulfill their whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's very possible. It's, yes, drag. Men, a lot of men that are in this society, and I'll say 99% of the entertainment industry is in it. When they get to a certain level, they have to dress up as someone else and pull them off. Like someone said that Justin Bieber dressed up like The Weeknd and pulled it off. So they have to dress up and shapeshift into other things because they are a serpent or a dragon, and that's part of their initiation to be able to pull off to become a master. So yeah, they have with okay, y'all don't really watch TV, I guess, but they have this technology. They have silicone masks, 3D printers now, voice simulators. They have all the things that are necessary to actually make you into a whole different person and look real. Okay. If y'all want to see that technology, it's on, I think, Mission Impossible 2 or 3, one of those. Okay. And every time you hear, I think it's Blue Tie Trump, his voice sounds very digital, and he's always by a microphone. He can't really, yeah, he's always by a mic because his voice sounds very digital if you just listen very closely. Like Mrs. Doubtfire. Thank you. So they have all these silicone masks that are for sale online. You can even buy them. They even have silicone hands. They have prosthetics and all of that. Voice changers, all of that. You can do it. A lot of people were calling them clones, but they're not clones. They're just other people dressed up and trying to pull off the morphing, initiation. Okay. And that's in this book too. So, if y'all remember, if y'all were young enough or old enough, when Michael Jackson announced "This Is It" behind, in front of that red curtain, and he was in all black in London, that wasn't Michael Jackson. That was someone else. That was not MJ. That was someone as MJ. I think it was David Bowie as MJ. Okay, so a lot of these people have to do this to pass their initiation, right? Right. Yeah, the O2 arena. Exactly. So you'll notice that a lot of people, when you see them paired up on Instagram and hugging each other, and chances are they've exchanged bodily fluids. Just saying, because I'm telling y'all, this stuff is super deep. If you've noticed, a lot of people have been posting, like a lot of celebrities have been posting themselves in all white, black and white, or with red. They'll do like a color scheme that is to show you their indication of their level in the game. You know what I'm saying? And if they're in all black, they're basically raising up the black. This is what Ice Cube was talking about. They're actually raising up the black agenda and the black people to thrive and bring up all of the manifestations into the heavens to create the world that they desire. And then you'll see people with different colors on, indicating the desires of the people that they're trying to raise up. So if you see someone in white and black and white and black, they're raising up other people's intentions into the universe when they're only supposed to be raising up their own. They are the priests. So you'll see a lot of this. So most of the people that you see that are deep in it, they're taking these weird, strange pictures, right? And saying weird stuff and not making any sense because they're speaking in super code. Yeah. So Diddy's a trickster too. Like Diddy is a trickster. He tells you he's a trickster, but if you don't understand code, you're not gonna know. Even his name means trickster. Okay. Diddy's a trickster. Don't listen to him. He will have you going in the wrong direction. But that's his role. You understand? That's his role in the game right now. That's the role he's playing. It doesn't mean he's good or bad. It just means that his role is to try to trick you. Okay. People are mad at Ice Cube for meeting with Donald Trump. Well, I'm sure he met with someone else as Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Not to mention his real name is O'Shea Jackson. And, we have to understand that a lot of these people, you don't have anything to do with them. Like, you don't have to pay attention to this stuff at all, period. But when you look on the TV and you go to vote for somebody and you think you have all your information that you need, all of it's fake. So, I would rather know than be fooled. You know what I'm saying? I would rather know than be fooled, because to me, knowing is part of the fun. Not knowing is being a sheep. And so I would rather know. J-Lo says she's black now. That means she's going to be raising up the black intentions into the cosmos when she manifests while the veil is super thin, so that they can get out. It means she has, if you read about it, their bodily fluids, blood drinking, bloodletting, bodily fluids are all pushed up into the cosmos via certain people. So they got to do their thing or whatever they got to do. I don't know. Maybe they have better methods of getting those fluids now, hopefully, or not, because a lot of it has to do with the female. Like, we're not taking it literally. You'll have to understand. If she has black fluids in her, let me get it clear. She was trying to tell you guys that she's raising up those intentions and energies from those people who gave her those fluids. You know what I mean? So y'all have to understand, this book is deep, because that's what they do in Hollywood. A lot of people call it, how you say, if you have sex and manifest with the universe. That's basically what they're doing, but they're shooting off 7 intentions via 7 chakras, via this, their stuff, their serpent secret society. That's what they do. It's all like mixed up in every religion. Every religion touches on it, but basically that's what she probably meant in code. Okay. And we're not talking literally. Y'all have to get out of the literal if you're going to be on this channel, please. Otherwise, y'all are going to make everybody else fall behind. Y'all can go, like, on the other channel, y'all can go rant and rave about it all day. But on this channel, you have to look deeper. Okay. I don't care what she said. It don't bother me. It didn't take anything away from me. It didn't take no money out my pocket. I could care less. I understand the code, and I know what she's saying. And she's dropping code that she's sending up black intention so she can get on with the next level. Okay. Period. Thank you, Brandy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So, yes, I have Instagram, Ashira Star Goddess. Thank you. So you have to just realize that you can't just be sitting here getting mad, because that's exactly how they keep you asleep, because you're not focusing on what you're being taught. All right. Who cares if she thinks she black? Even wonder, what if he thought he was white? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? The point is, she was speaking in code. Of course, she knew that was going to cause backfire. Why do you think she did it? To bring attention to her code. Okay. No one cares. Everybody dresses up as each other in this game. There is no racist people at the top. They all dress up as each other. They all get to experience life as a black person, a white person, a racist person, a non-racist person, a rapper, a Michael Jackson, a president. They all get to walk in each other's shoes. Okay. They all get to see. Like in Lovecraft. Yeah. Exactly. Just like in the Lovecraft country movie. Show. So that means they get to dress up like each other and live each other's life and see what it's like. Spiritually, that's also what they're trying to do when they put the intentions into the universe to be born. That's what they also do when they have the secret children, when they mix and da 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 da. So this is like a whole huge secret society that runs the entertainment industry and probably the world, but all of it's fake, and the whole point is to keep you under their control without you ever figuring it out. That's the game. The game is that you never figured out. Okay. So if you never figure it out, they seem like they can control you. But most people won't ever figure it out. They go to their grave never figuring it out. And then when people do figure it out, other people laugh at them and say, "Oh, you're going too far." No, you're not going far enough. Okay. There are certain people that see things, and some certain people that choose not to see anything. And the vibration and the frequency that they're keeping on the planet is to keep you dumb and not looking and not questioning. The fluoride in the water and in the toothpaste is to keep you dumb and not questioning. That's why most people don't see anything, because they drink that water and use that toothpaste. And, you know, and also their thinking is slowed down by the lack of stimulation, mental stimulation that they're given at school and mundane jobs. So, yeah, you got to look deeper on purpose. You got to, however deep you think you need to look, you need to look 10 times deeper. There you go. You don't win the game. Here's the kicker. You don't win the game. You just have to understand it. That's it. Okay. You don't win the game. You just must figure it out. You must figure out it is a game. You must figure it out it is fake. You must figure it out you are under the illusion and people dressing up as each other. That's it. You win. You win if you figure it out. And if you figured out, you know their secrets and how they thrive and what they use against you. So now they can't use it anymore. And then you can create your own world and do what you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer controlled by the system because you see people dressed up as each other playing games with you. And so you stop putting your faith in something that's a big joke to everyone but you. Okay. And I think it's funny because people will kill over these things, and that's what makes them so powerful, because they can cause literal murder based on people arguing over what's true and what's not true. And some people, like I said, they're gonna be born and they're gonna die never knowing the truth or never wanting to believe it, but that's okay. It wasn't meant for them to wake up, obviously. What I mean by morphing is, okay, you know, like on October 30th, you try on your costume and then you go out on October 31st dressed up like a whole nother person. That's morphing. Morphing is when you change yourself into someone else or something else, a whole nother look, whether it's prosthetics, makeup, digital editing, whatever, contacts, wigs, whatever. That is part of what they do. That is part of their secret society, to be other people, to dress as other people and pull it off and see how asleep and blind the people are. That's all. That's what they will do. And it says it in right here in this book. If y'all ever get a chance to get this, The Murder of Reality, it doesn't say this is what they do. It says part of this secret society is morphing into other things, other people, male to female, young to old, right? And this is how they fulfill it materially, by dressing up as other people, right? So whenever people would say clones or that person's really a man, they could have been at that time, but that doesn't mean the real original person does not exist as a true female or a true male or whatever. They're just dressing up as each other. It's called the morphing effect. And it's part of their serpent, secret society. So then the book is linked below. It's called The Murder of Reality. And it's going to be hard to read this book, especially if you don't know code, but you could try. It goes into everything that they do, their priesthood, the things that they do, how they run the world, how they fool and trick you right in front of your eye, how they use everything and to keep you asleep. Only certain people get chosen to play a part in this, and they have to basically dedicate their entire life to this. If you become famous, this is what you have to dedicate your life to. This priesthood. Thank you, Kimberly. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Leveling up is a form of morphing, but not to the degree where they do it. You're not morphing to pull tricks over people's eyes, as far as who's who. You're not dressing up like your mama. Or you're not dressing up like your brother. You know what I mean? So it's a different thing. Thank you, though. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So it's about being able to live through in the world of someone else and see how it works and see if you can pull it off. It's called like a walk-in almost, but you're walking in literally. Seeing if people notice or not. See if people are paying attention or not. So a lot of them believe that they gain a lot of insight and knowledge and frequency and spiritual abilities through these processes, which is probably a little bit true, because if you feel a certain way, you're going to vibrate on a certain frequency. If you just pulled off being the president of the United States and you Michael Jackson, your frequency is going to go even higher. If you pulled off being, let's say, anybody in front of millions of people and people believed that you were them, you would feel so accomplished and so on top of the world. You get an adrenaline rush, chemicals will be released in your brain, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is why they do it, for the rush. Could you imagine being like a nobody, or just a politician, or just someone that's very rich, and you're in this secret society and you get to walk on a stage as someone with millions of fans screaming at them? Do you realize the rush of energy you would get? So a lot of people get to walk in. Could you imagine, then doing the opposite and getting in front of a large group of people, and then for them to not scream, "I love you," and take what you're saying seriously? Because every time, like a celebrity gets up and tries to speak about, real matters in the world, no one takes them seriously. It's because they're typecast. So in order to be taken seriously and for your ideas to be really taken seriously, you have to morph into something else that they take seriously. So it's not really attention. It's walking in someone else's shoes. It's kind of like Hermes, how he found two snakes, again with the snakes and the serpent, mating, and he struck them with his staff. And for 7 years, he became a woman. And then he found two snakes mating again and struck them with her staff, and then went back to being a male 7 years later. It's the principle of 7, as well as the morphing. So they've been doing this for ages. This is not new. They just had different methods and different ways to morph, as well as disguise themselves or fake their deaths and do all that. That's what they do. It's a whole illusion within an illusion. Okay, so you'll see a lot of 7s in the Bible. You'll see a lot of morphing and disguising, and people coming back as other people, and angels coming down and going back up. It's about morphing, because a lot of these beings are the same being. You're just not putting it together. Right. A lot of these beings are the same being, but you're just not putting together, especially in the Bible. A lot of the characters in the Bible are the same being. They're just taking on a different form. So you said Monsterland. Mm-hmm. Bruce Jenner did it. Yeah. So Yeah. So a lot of the stuff is sexual in the Bible. A lot of it is code. A lot of it is their rituals in the priesthood. Da 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 da. So it won't even make sense if you don't understand their whole secret society and different levels and stuff. So thank you, Gwen. Sprinkle, sprinkle. But just understand. I'll tell you guys this. And you don't have to take my word for anything. I would rather you go do your own research. I would rather you do that. I promise you. I don't want you to believe a thing I say. But most people are too lazy to do their own research, which is exactly why people can trick them so easily. And I understand why they do it now. Like, honestly, when I really sit back and think about it, I'm like, I see why they do it. Because it's too easy. And I can see why they have such a superiority complex. And this is not just race. This is just every race is doing this. That's in this secret society. I can see why they do it because no one is truly paying attention. Yeah, some people are, but in the mass number, no one is truly paying attention. The world is not going to end. I told y'all just the powers are going to flip. Okay, so now we're getting ready to morph. Okay, so before you see a lot of people ruling the world that look the same, now it's going to flip. The powers are getting ready to flip, like I've been telling y'all. Go listen to Kanye West's new song, Nah, Nah, Nah. Go watch the Chris Rock new 5G commercial. Everything's going to ready to flip, and that's what the whole point is. Thank you, Mona. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I love this channel. I have to go back and watch, catch up. Thank you, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm glad you're doing extra research. So stop worrying about December 21st. Ain't nothing going to happen except it's the winter solstice. There's nothing going to happen if you're not even aware of what's happening already. There's nothing going to happen. Don't worry. You're going to be okay. The only thing that's going to happen is the winter solstice, which represents, you know what I'm saying? You know what the winter solstice is. Nothing's going to happen. It's cold. They're hyping you up. Okay. Nothing's going to happen. Powers are switching. That's it. The earth is not going to explode. There's not going to be no meteor. Nothing is going to happen. Definitely the frequency is going to increase. 5G definitely coming in. The purge definitely coming in. This is another thing. COVID is a trick. And they're trying to see who understands how it works, which I already figured out. It's a frequency. It's not a virus, because it wouldn't make sense to not have on a hazmat suit if it was a real virus. In the beginning of 2020, they had them hazmat suits on, throwing bodies in vans, looking like the movie Outbreak. And now everybody's walking around with a thin cloth mask. So you have to understand it ain't real, baby. It's a frequency increase, and those who have too much mucus in their body and underlying causes are going to be affected. And we already know that. That's why I'm not sick and nobody in my family is sick. And we are not germaphobes. We don't doing all that extra stuff. We go out every single day. And so they're telling babies they don't have to wear it. So obviously it's not a virus. Okay? You don't have to wear a mask. Okay. Oh, we don't need gloves. It's fake. And people don't realize that it's a big joke. That's why Donald Trump don't care. He's like, y'all stupid. Like if I was playing this joke on y'all and y'all couldn't figure it out yet, I would feel sorry for the human race. Period. Like, y'all dumb. And yeah, it is a very big hoax, and y'all have to understand that. When I was young, I used to look up how many people died on a daily basis from whatever. Didn't have to be any disease special, just any deaths would do. You know how many people die a day in the world? You know how easy it would be just to say, oh, they died of COVID? That's so easy. Thank you, Gwen. Will there be a race war? Nope, there won't be a race war. The race war represents the intentions going up into the cosmos. Okay. The higher your frequency, the higher your intentions go. So that's why remember in the old days you needed to go through a priest to talk to God or to talk to the universe. A priest would be a melanated person. So the race war would be how many people can get their intentions out before election day. Okay, and they still have to do it through a priest if they want it to go further because there's too many barriers now. If you watch that 5G commercial with Chris Rock, you'll see all the barriers on his phone when he holds it up. Those are the barriers that keep the energies in. Let's see if I took a picture of it. Let's see. Where'd it go? Let me turn it down so I'll pause it on that part. Okay, let me see. Okay. See if I can pull it in for you. So yeah, he holds up this phone with all these barriers in the sky, trying to show you, and it says 11. Well, the numbers add up to 11, and there's a lock on the top of it. Okay. See that? These are the different levels and that you have to break through. Okay, and he says 5G it's getting real. It's everywhere now. Basically, that's just what he's saying. So 5G is what's causing the increase of people getting sick or deaths. You said if people died in car accidents, tested positive for COVID, they said it was okay. Yeah, they did say it was COVID. So, I talked about those levels. Those levels are everywhere. They're going to start showing you in plain sight. This is how they do it because they're not lying to you. You're lying to yourself. And it's a process of you waking up. They're trying to wake you up. So they're not being evil. You're just being lazy. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, Goddess Ashal. Thank you, Shira. I received your elixir phase 1 yesterday. You tap into higher dimensions of consciousness. I am feeling even more elevated. Thank you, girl, for ordering it. Sprinkle. I need to restock it right now. But yeah, they're showing you stuff right in your face to see how long it's going to take you to wake up. And it's going to get worse and worse until enough people wake up to say something and see it, which is happening. So, I mean, it's a good thing. Like I waited a long time to tell people what I knew, but I saw stuff a while back, but so many people are just so lost and focused on silly things that they don't see a thing. And those type of people are dangerous because they'll freak out if the truth is given all of a sudden, you know. So just keep an open mind. That's all. As long as your mind is open and you're ready to receive, you're going to be able to see more. When your mind is closed, you close your eyes as well. Just understand that. So you don't have to play the game that I play. You don't have to look for stuff. You don't have to investigate. You don't have to do what I do at all. You just have to be aware that most 99% of what you see, unless it's happening to you in your own front yard or neighborhood, and it's not on the news, not on CNN, it's most likely if you see stuff with your own eyes that's not being televised, it's probably real. But if you don't see it and you see stuff all on the news and you see big things orchestrated and you know code, you know exactly what they're planning, and then it happens, you know it's fake. So if you have been watching me for a while, I predicted so many things because they put it out there first in code to tell you. And once you see the code, you can see what's coming next. And it's not like you can tell the future, but you can read the code of what is going to be orchestrated. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Y'all want to see? Did y'all see that Donald Trump that I posted? The magazine cover? It said fake Donald, the fake president. Let's see. This is a magazine, and it says fake president. They put an orange lipstick on. Um, yeah. Adventures of a Fake President. What it's like to spend a decade as Donald Trump's double. Okay, that's exactly how long MJ has been gone. A decade, right? Uh-huh. Inside the surreal world of political impersonators. They trying to tell y'all, but nobody's getting it. You're not looking hard enough. You're just looking with a glance and a rollover, but you're not looking. Y'all remember on Stranger Things when they tried to tell Joy her son was dead and they had this body made out of silicone and they showed her the body and then they tried to put the body in the casket and she said, "That's not my son. I know what my baby looked like. I know what he looks like." Because you can tell. If you know someone, you can tell that ain't them. Okay? If you have studied someone's face for most of your life, you can see certain things. Sure, what's your thoughts on Rihanna posting being against Trump? If he's MJ, then why does she? Because MJ is also Joe Biden in the blue tie. So it doesn't matter. Either way, we about to slide. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The devil, let's say, the angel and the devil are one of the same. Okay, one is to trick you and one is to enlighten you and help you. And they both work towards that. So either way, we about to slide. It doesn't matter who wins. And that's the funny part about it. You can go and do whatever you like. It don't matter who wins. Mm-hmm. The unseen is what really tells them what to do. Okay. So both are. He could be both. Whatever. He could be Melania. He could be. That's why he got so skinny, so he could play certain characters. Just like people do in a movie, you know. Most people y'all think are dead are not dead. And I keep trying to tell you guys this, but y'all can't pull the veil off to go even do your own investigation. Like you'll deny it, but you don't have any investigation to not see it. You know, you just say, "Oh, that's not true." You don't even go and try to prove me wrong. And that's why a lot of people will never wake up. Because if you tried to prove me wrong, you would see what I saw. Okay? So to deny is not enough. You can't just deny something. You have to go and prove it. Okay? So a lot of people are not gone. So y'all have to realize this. So a lot of people are not gone. And a lot of people have just moved up in position and they're just hidden, the hidden government. A lot of the hidden government are the people that you used to know. Okay? That you used to know on film or on camera. Because it's all an illusion, it's all a movie. Okay? You don't have to believe it. You just have to know that it's, well, you can believe it if you want to, because then what will be the point of performing all of this? You know, it's up to you whether you believe it or not. And that's the beauty of it. Like, it's fun to see it and be able to say, aha, I see what they're doing. But if you believe it, then you get taken on a real roller coaster that you don't have any control of because you don't understand what's really going on. So if you don't believe it, that's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't really care because it's not for everybody to believe. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the seraphim, exactly. It's not for everyone to believe. If everyone knew the truth, then the whole thing would be messed up. And right. That's why the book is called The Murder of Reality. This reality would be murdered if everyone woke up. So that's why everybody can't wake up. That's why everyone's on different levels of frequency. That's why people are on different levels of knowledge, because the reality will always be, as long as people are not on purpose trying to wake up. Right. It's just like the movie The Matrix. If enough people don't want to leave the Matrix or see the Matrix for what it is, then it will remain. Remember, they kept saying it was too perfect and people kept waking up and figuring it out. Well, that's why a lot of people will never figure it out, because they didn't make it too perfect. Okay. Exactly like the Truman Show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you actually sell your soul, or is that an illusion? Your soul is like breath, energy. You can sell parts of your self with soul essence in it. And that's what they use to manifest. So, like, instead of going through a priest, you can get someone's sperm. You can get a melanated person's blood or sperm or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when you have to speak with it on your mouth or some other stuff. Okay. It's kind of gross, but yes, the frequency must be out of a priest's mouth with the priest's DNA, the soul essence. Whenever you see, like I said, whenever you see people talking about they take a drag, that means they, getting that sperm. Okay. So it's very interesting. I'll say that. Right. You don't have to vote at all. Vote for yourself. Exactly. If you vote, you're basically selling part of your essence, your word, actually. When you vote, you're selling part of yourself. Vow and vote means to devote yourself, and vow and promise your support to this individual person, especially a deity. That's what it means. So it's basically allowing them to use your name, and your name is code for your soul. Okay. And so you are agreeing to be used in any which way. Yes, my background is fake, darling. It's called a backdrop. Congratulations, you have observed something on a kindergarten level. They're waking up. Okay. Y'all thought this candle was real, for real? That's why y'all can't see. Okay, anyway. Now I understand. Y'all might need to go to the optometrist. Okay, so most people really don't pay attention. That's why they get tricked. Trick or treat. You don't know what you're going to get. Trick or treat. Which is exactly why election is around Halloween. And election does not mean what you think it means either. It explains it in this book. Election time is code for all those people in the secret societies all around the world to get their intentions in with a priest. And they must pay that priest a certain amount of money and promise them certain things in order to send their stuff out into the universe, into the cosmos, to come down and come true. Okay, on a high level. So that's why you see all these people scrambling right now on Instagram, putting out all these messages and taking pictures with these different color outfits on, because it represents, the intentions that they're sending out, and advertising whose intentions they will send out. So, so So it really doesn't matter. If you have nothing to do with it, if you don't even know what's going on, it doesn't really matter. They're going to continue to do it and right in front of your face. And if you ever wake up, you'll see it. If you don't, it doesn't matter. If you're ever trying to get famous or whatever, you're going to have to be a part of it. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Everything is a pagan holiday. Everything. Everything you celebrate is a pagan holiday. Unless you celebrate nothing at all, then you're good. Every day is a pagan holiday. Every single day. Every single holiday is a pagan holiday. Every religion is a pagan religion and all represents the serpent. All of them. All of them represents the melanin, and in order to get the intentions out, the serpent and then the winged serpent and the angel and the Christ. All of it says the same thing. It's all about, and basically everyone thinks that they're going to escape the matrix. The only thing that can escape the matrix is your intention in order to recreate it. Okay? So, if you want to see a different world, you have to go create it. There are several versions, and whichever one you can create, wonderful. Mm-hmm. We are all living in different matrices because we live in different realities, because we see different. We have different points of views. We believe different things. We're on different levels of intellect. Da, 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 da. Some see things, some don't. So technically, we really are all living in a different reality. Thank you, Virgo. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Just showing some love. Thank you, girl. Mm-hmm. Right. He said, "Get your back." Thank you. So, I have some other books, but I left them downstairs. Well, I'll tell y'all some movies that kind of reflect what's going on. Or I saw this. Well, I saw this zombie movie called "Girl with All the Gifts" on Netflix. I saw this that Queen and Slim movie is exactly about what's going on right now. If y'all understand the celebrity stuff as far as the getting the intentions up, and if y'all know the codes behind certain things, and y'all know who, everyone's the angel, the devil, and the Christ figure. We all play that part. Mm-hmm. So, at some point in your life, you're going to play all those roles in some part in your life. Mm-hmm. And the morphing part is not even the main part. Like, just because someone dresses up like a presidential candidate or the president, that has nothing to do with anything. That was just part of what they do. Fool the masses and right in front of your face and laugh at you. And they do it all the time. So it's almost like no big deal. They do it with false flags. They do it with false killings, fake celebrity deaths, and all that. So it doesn't matter. Smoke and mirrors, exactly. And I feel that if you understand this and you still keep going and learning and doing all that stuff, great. But at this point, you just have to realize you create your own reality. And there does not need to be so much focus on, scrambling to try to change things unless it's your own reality. Like, so many people line up to go change the reality of the world or their own country by checking a box on a piece of paper. Like, that's enough. Okay? That should show you right there. That should show you right there. I voted I did my part as a citizen. Things are going to change. No, they're not. You checked a piece of paper and didn't do nothing else. Went back to doing the same old stuff you was doing before. And when nothing changes, you going to get mad. To me, that's the biggest trick of all. Thinking it's that easy when it's not. I'm gonna go check a piece of paper because I'm finna change the world. Watch this. I'm finna change the world. I'm gonna do my part in this. Y'all don't ever say I didn't do nothing. There I go. Okay, where my sticker at? I wrote it with my sticker. I gotta line up to check a box. It's important. It's important. Did y'all check all? Did y'all count every last ballot? Okay, they were already. If they waited and had to count all those ballots before they even made a plan and got stuff in place, no one would get into the White House for at least a year. They already planned it. They know who's gonna win. Y'all are just being hoodwinked, as they call it. Literally. But it's okay because otherwise, who's gonna pay for their stuff? Who's gonna pay for who's gonna pay their taxes and stuff and pay for them to live good when they're supposed to be dead, okay? So, it is what it is. At least you know, right? They're offering y'all up to their deities. Yep, they put them names. Book of names, baby. Let's see them names. Who done wrote on that ballot? You vowed to who? Donald Trump. Or who did you vow to? Joe. You vowed to Joe. Who else did you vow to? Okay. Okay, so this is how many times these people done vowed to other people as deities. Interesting. Okay. Yet nothing changes, but until people get up and make the change. That's why nothing changes until people actually do something. If voting made a difference, it would be illegal. That's right. Exactly. And it doesn't matter. All that stuff is fake. It's all stories to keep you not creating your own reality. Okay. They give you a bunch of stories, show you a bunch of crap, and it just takes you away from creating your own life and your own reality and your own wealth. So focus on that. That's my message. Focus on yourself because they don't, they're not going to do nothing anyway. It's just a big trick. Entertain yourself, have fun, create, manifest, read, and I wouldn't take anything in this life very seriously at all. Like, honestly. It don't matter who wins, baby. When you can dress up like the president and travel and make laws, and if there's a shadow government, it doesn't matter who wins. They're both going to do the same thing that they're told to do. Just like at a job, it doesn't matter which employer or employee shows up for the shift, they're going to do the same work. So it doesn't matter. Can two people share the same reality? Yeah, if they dress up as each other. If they dress up and be that person when the other one don't feel like it, I'm sure they could. Okay. Like, look, I don't feel like going out there today. Blue tie, you on. I'm old. Get out there, blue tie. Don't try to sound too digital. Make sure you buy a microphone. Blue tie always sound digital. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah, sister, twins, Gemini, everything adds up. Just and it doesn't matter. Like I said, most of y'all can see it. Some of y'all can't. So that's good. But most people will never see it. And that's fine. The goddess way. When we create our own reality and wealth here on earth, what does it do for us in the spiritual realm? Do we learn the lessons of life or get promoted? Well, that the whole thing in that is also going back to that secret society, promotions and all that kind of stuff. It's in your own mind. Do you feel elevated? Do you feel like you're on the next level? You know what I'm saying? So as much as you acquire materially, as much as you learn spiritually, as much as you can figure out how to get things through the spiritual into the material, it's basically up to you. There is no measurement. It's your measurement, you know. So if you feel accomplished doing whatever you've done so far, then you basically rate yourself. Are you good at what you do? Are you good at, manifesting? Are you good at creating your own reality? Are you happy with the reality that you have created? There is no measurement except your measurement. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm patient, Apple Long. Thank you. So, a lot of stories are changed, a lot of roles are flipped, and that's why um, people's thinking is a little bit backwards sometimes because a lot of times scientifically roles are flipped, and they don't depend on most people to get certain information to figure it all out. Some people will, but not most. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, serpent knowledge is used to trick you. That's why you must be as wise as serpents so that you can understand the language and so that you are not tricked. Otherwise, you will be tricked. That's why you have to look up every definition of the word. You have to look up the etymology of the word, the origin of the word, and you have to see how it's used when it's broken up into different syllables. So if you know how to speak, as they call it in Harry Potter, partial tongue, you're able to understand stuff most people can't. Okay? It's not evil, it's just a code language to keep the wool pulled over other people's eyes. It's just a degree of knowledge that you don't have, and because you have not learned it. That's all it is. It can be learned. Um, Everything is fake. It doesn't matter. Create the life you want. Like, I don't worry about the government. I don't worry about the census. I don't worry about the elections. I don't worry about any of those things. I just keep doing what I do. And my world keeps growing into what I want it to be. Um, yes, we share the same reality, but we mold our individual experience in that reality. Um, hmm And everything that I've told y'all, a lot of the stuff that has to do with the amount of light that you're getting, the amount of energy that you're absorbing, your frequency, da 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 da. It also has a lot to do with your level of, thinking and seeing things. So a lot of people get mad that I'm so calm. Yeah, because I don't really need to argue. If it's up to the individual to go do their own research. You know, if you don't believe it, that's fine. If you do, great. If you want to go do your research, wonderful. I do my research. That's why I can post up. Mm-hmm. You say you're gonna go read the dictionary. Okay. I got this in my recommendation feed. I am excruciating physical pain for the better part of 2 decades, and no, it's not my fault. I thought for a long time, though, because of New Age belief. Why would it be your fault? I think you can transform pain into energy because it's just an awareness, a physical awareness of something. Once you're made aware of it, it may dissipate. Like when you have pains that you're getting ready to have a child. That hmm It could also be the 5G frequency, you guys. A lot of people didn't start getting those type of crazy pains until they started having cell phones and microwaves and all that kind of stuff because it has to do with frequency and your nerves work on electricity. Okay? Your nerves work by electricity, believe it or not. That's why they tell people with arthritis or nerve problems to get copper. hmm Or try to eat foods that raise your frequency and vibration. hmm So yeah, the morphing thing is just something that they do for fun, y'all, and also for their secret society, level ups. I think it's fun to watch, like, oh, I know that ain't Michael Jackson. That's not the president. That's not that person. That's not Justin Bieber. That's not the weekend. That's not this person. That's not, they're all playing the game. So see, I just, where's Waldo, basically? Where's Waldo? hmm Yeah, and sometimes I play along and I see all them posting their stuff up and I go under the little comments and make little comments like I know what they're doing because a lot of the celebrities don't depend on their fans understanding what they're really doing. And so when you do, they're like surprised. Like, and when you know that they're talking in code and you say, I know what you're doing over there. They, they know some people know, but not enough. And if people really knew what they were doing, they might not be their fans anymore because a lot of stuff that they do, most, I'll say, people that grew up in certain religions or mindsets wouldn't want to deal with them no more. Thank you, Gwen. Sprinkle, sprinkle. This whole world revolves around money, sex, drugs. The secret societies are based on who you are sleeping with. That's true. Sleep with yourself. It's true. But like wine also represents a certain type of body fluid. Champagne, the other type of body fluid. Okay. Like when Reese Witherspoon went to Jay-Z's table and asked him for some water or champagne, it didn't mean literal because she wanted to manifest with his spermazoans. That's what they be doing, gargling and stuff. Ooh. Uh, so, when they ask for certain things from certain people, and that's why Beyonce sent her clothes, her covering. Like, I will send your manifestation up, Reese, since you humbled yourself in front of the entire community of celebs to come get Jay-Z's sperm. We will cover you, basically. when the veil is the most thin and we manifest up your intentions. They also call it having a baby. Like they'll put their intention on top, or whoever's intention on top, theirs, then da 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 da. And whichever one gets through, gets through. When they put it on a spaceship, and the spaceship is, your Kundalini energy that rises through the orgasm. So, thank you, Kareem. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It did sound yucky, but that's how they talk in code right in front of your face. People thought, oh, it was so nice. Jay-Z sent her some champagne. No, champagne is code for sperm because, the little bubbles in it and stuff, and the color of it. Wine is someone's menstruation blood. Okay, so they literally buy someone's menstrual blood depending on their level of fame, and they drink it. Or they put it in something and they drink it, like wine or whatever. I've had so many people inquire about that, and like men wanting to drink women's menstrual cycles and da 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 for power and knowledge and intention. It's true. That's what a lot of magicians do. A lot of people that practice magic. You see a lot of women wearing pink or red. That means their stuff is for sale. Their blood is for sale. It also represents the Mother Mary. It also represents the Immaculate Conception, or, the hierarchy of the feminine energy. So you said, I can't, I'm out. Exactly. So if you ever thought you was going to be famous, think twice. For real. That's all they do. That's all they do, really. And they pay top dollar for it, depending on whose it is. It's not, I really wouldn't say, you can't really say something is evil or not, because the rules of good and evil, who do you think they were made by? You know what I'm saying? Yes, things are good and bad according to your own morals, of course. But a lot of the things that people do, they're only used to punish certain people, not everybody. Like, only we can do this, you can't. Only we get away with this, but the public can't. That's their sense of power. And as long as people stay asleep and never looking, it will get stronger and stronger. The more people wake up, the weaker they get. That's just how it works. But I wouldn't say, like, I say, if you trying to get famous and you don't know any of this, and all of a sudden, you get your first hit, you get a little taste of fame, then they bring you in. They're like, okay, you like being famous? Do you want it to continue? Well, this is what you got to do. And they start off small. And then it grows and grows and grows and grows until now it becomes a challenge and a game, and now you're into it as well. So they are pretending to be gods. That's what they made up gods. Men literally made up God. God did not exist before man made God up. Period. So any type of God you believe in was made up by the secret society that rules the world. The only thing that they did not make up is source energy. So there you have it. If you believe in any type of God, deity, spirit, angel, religion, it's all from that. If you believe in source energy of the universe, of the multiverse, then you're beyond that. Okay. That's why I say you create what you want using your own intention. And the deeper you get into all of their stuff, the more you believe in it, and then the more you become an actual slave of it. That's why I can differentiate. That's why it's good to have duality, because you don't want to become a slave of something that you're not even really super involved in. Like, you're not famous. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can understand it. You can speak the language, but you don't have to be a part of it. You can know what's real and what's not real. You can still enjoy your life here. That's the beauty of it. Chosen, but then what is the point? That people seem crazy. Well, here's the thing. That's why I always say, I'd rather have just money and not be famous or super rich, because once you get into that level, they want you to play the game. And I don't want to play the game. I just want to live my life, have fun, you know? And that's also one of the tricks. That's also one of the tricks. You have enough to be happy, you have enough to be comfortable. There are certain people that keep going and keep going, and they think there's more, they think there's more. And once you realize there is more, but you got to do other things in order to get to the more, then it all backfires. That's why you have so many people on drugs, so many people just out of it. Mm-hmm. You prefer to have your privacy? Yeah, me too. Like, I could never be a celebrity. I don't like people enough to be celebrities. I'm like, leave me alone. I I mean, I can understand why a lot of people are upset. I understand why Kanye mad all the time. Okay. Being a celeb does not seem fun for maybe a day. After one day, you'd be so tired. No, I'm done. So, isn't it? Yeah. I, I don't never think of myself as no celebrity for real. Ever. Um, I just sit in my house and talk to y'all online. That's all I do. I don't do nothing spectacular. Like, I don't do that much, but thank you. So, y'all stop thinking stuff is going to happen on a certain date. Stop that. It's all code for stuff. Add the dates up, baby. Y'all keep thinking something's going to happen on a certain date, and nothing ever happens, baby. Nothing ever happens. It's all code. Okay? Stuff been supposed to happen forever. Nothing will happen. Stop waiting on dates. Nothing's going to happen. It's all code. They're just relaying messages that you don't understand because it's in code. Thank you, Karen. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do they all get hit from the back or from? It depends on what level they're at. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Depends on what level they're at. Is it possible to be famous and rich author without playing the game? I want to be famous. You got to write code into your books. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, ASMR accent. If you don't know code, your books can't, unless you allow them to rewrite your book and put code in it. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. You said something's gonna happen. No, it's not gonna happen. It's all code for something. Mm-hmm. Just keep going and create the life you desire. That's all you gotta do. Don't worry about a thing. Yeah, priesthood and the secret societies. This is what all the higher up famous people are working on, their level of the priesthood. Because, like, let's face it, when you get to a certain age and you're a celebrity, you can't stay in the public eye anymore. You have to disappear because then you're no longer an icon. Especially if you're super famous, you have to disappear for a while and go do other stuff. Right. I don't really believe that. I don't understand how people could want fame. Like, I would never want fame, especially since I've seen what it does to people. I would never want fame. Like, I could care less if people know who I am. As long as I can live happy and get the stuff I want, I'm good. Right. Do you believe people that said that they were tormented by demons? I believe that people can create a lot of stuff in their own mind, especially being brainwashed, especially being hypnotized, and a lot of other things. Uh-oh. I gotta go in a second. I believe you can create certain things with your mind, and you are a very powerful being. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that there are energies around. Da 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 da. So it's all a combination of things. I believe a weaker energy cannot attack a stronger energy. So it could be like a spiritual pain saying to raise your frequency. Okay. So I will see you guys later. I got to go do some stuff. But thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all try to keep an open mind. Don't just shut down. That's why your eyes are shut. Keep an open mind. No matter if you believe it or not, just keep an open mind just in case. Just in case, so you can have enough of an open mind to go do the research or to look deeper. But when you just shut down, you're closed. And you become just as asleep as the people who you think are asleep. So no matter what, it's important to keep an open mind, because even if it's not true to you yet, or you don't see it yet, you might see it in the future. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'll see y'all later.